So I've been going through and reading the comments on the video that I did yesterday about my little sleep paralysis incident. And lots and lots and lots of very helpful information. I still stand pretty firm in I was disconnected from my body. And the weirdest part about it was that I was laying there wide awake. I remember one person said something to the effect of, "Oh, you just thought you were awake." No, you fucking idiot. I'm laying in bed wide awake. Wide the fuck awake. And all I could move is my eyes. I kind of had a little bit of control of my head. A little bit. Wide awake. And I was completely disconnected from body. And it's just weird how, I guess, your astral body feels just like your regular body. You know, like I said, the first thing I did was what I normally do. I struggled and fought until I felt my arms moving. And I was looking up at the ceiling. And I thought, okay, sweet. I broke free from it. Cool. And then my head was kind of propped up on a pillow a little bit. So I was still able to look down. And then my hands were still laying there on my chest. And I'm laying there feeling my arms move just like I'm moving my arm right now. Felt just like this. I thought I was trapped that way forever. I knew immediately I'm disconnected from my body, but I was panicking. I kind of wish I would have kept a level head because I would have probably played around and see what else I could do because my cats were laying next to me too. And if I would have thought about it, I would have reached over and tried to pet one of my cats, see if they could feel it. But I was panicking. I couldn't think straight, you know? So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying, well, actually, I was surprised how many people it happens to. I mean, there's dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of comments saying this has been happening to me for years. You know, like, I didn't know how many people have had that exact same experience. I still don't want it to happen again. I don't like it though, man. It's so fucking uncomfortable. It's not a comfortable thing. And I remember the first two times that it happened, like I said, what would originally wake me up would be my body locking up. And it's painful. That's the reason why it throws me into a panic, is because it physically hurts. It's not this comforting sensation that I could easily just laugh off. And many times I would try to ignore it and just go back to sleep. And it feels like I'm being electrocuted. My muscles lock up. Like I'm literally being electrocuted. And it hurts. So it's difficult to just lay there and be like, oh, okay, yeah, just this little sleep paralysis thing. It'll pass. Because that's what everybody's saying. Well, that's what a lot of people said. Like, oh, nothing to worry about. And I'm not saying that I should worry about it. I'm not trying to, argue that point. I'm just like, how do you just lay there and not worry about it when it's something that feels so physically painful and uncomfortable? I don't get how you just brush that off. I don't know. Okay, so the weird thing is, I get this funny feeling that I'm being initiated for something because another weird experience happened about 3 days ago. And I was telling my wife about this, and I didn't even mention this to my wife when it happened because I didn't really know how to explain it. But I was laying in bed, probably doing a meditation, just like always. And I don't remember why. She came in and said something like, do you want to go to the grocery store with me? Or something like that. I don't remember what it was. But I said, yeah, hang on, let me get ready. And I got up out of bed and I stood up too fast. And you know what happens when you stand up too fast like that? I got real woozy and lightheaded walking into the bathroom, and I had to stop, and I fell against the wall and slid down. And all of a sudden, I was connected to... See, this is what I don't know how to explain. I was connected to something outside of me that put me everywhere at the same time. It was so bizarre. It was like my consciousness expanded outside of my head, and I was able to see through my eyes, but also see all around me and even all the way behind me. And I was present everywhere, from all the way around me to all the way behind me at the same time. And it only lasted for 5 seconds maybe. And then everything went back to normal. And I went, what the fuck was that? And I sat there for 2 or 3 minutes trying to process that and try to figure out how to logically explain that and put words to it. And I couldn't do it. What I just said is about the extent of the explanation that I've come up with so far. So I just kind of buried that and put that aside, like, okay, it's interesting. We'll see if anything like that ever happens again. And I just kind of tucked it away and buried it. That was 3 days ago. And then yesterday, this shit happens where I'm laying in bed and wide awake. I've had dreams that seem so real you think you're awake. No. I was wide the fuck awake, laying in bed. And I'm disconnected from my body. The only part of me that was connected to my body felt like my head and down to my chest. Felt like from right here, this part of me was the only part that was connected. And that my arms, my legs, and everything else down there was disconnected. The only part of me that was connected was basically my head. This in here was the only part of my body I was connected to. And I thought I was going to be stuck that way forever. So another thing a person mentioned in the comments too was something to the effect of, asked how I got out of it. And the way that I got out of it was I started moving my head more this way to the side, moving my head, and wiggling my fingers. I started moving my head and wiggling my fingers instead of just my whole arm. Moving my head and thinking about my fingers wiggling. And I finally got my fingers to wiggle. And then finally, I was able to sit up. And yeah, and that's when I immediately ran down and told my wife what happened. And I said, I'm going to do a video about this. And I pre-recorded a video like I am right now, and it wasn't wanting to upload, so that's why I just turned the camera on and went live immediately. And yeah, that's Crazy shit, man. I don't even know what else to think about it, but I greatly appreciate everybody's comments, you know, and now I don't feel so crazy. Maybe it will be a little bit easier to deal with next time, because apparently this is incredibly common. Again, the only thing that concerns me is how to deal with something that is so painful and hurtful. You know, that's the only thing that I'm going to struggle with. But I guess if it happens again, I'll try to see if I can just relax while it feels like I'm being fucking electrocuted. Anyway, yeah, appreciate y'all's feedback. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.